For years, I treated pain like it was an enemy that needed to be fixed or fought or, thrown medicine at, cut out, But it wasn't until I used my body as my own experiment that everything started to change. I tried everything, right? Healers since I was a kid. I was an international competitor with a lot of injuries and residual symptoms from them. And as an adult, I had a lot of chronic pain. So nothing really stuck until structural integration and then later neuroscience forced me to see everything differently. So just to give you an example, one day my kid dropped a light plastic measuring cup on my foot. And the pain was excruciating, way out of proportion to what actually happened, right? So when I looked down at my foot, there wasn't any bleeding, no broken bone, nothing serious. That's when it clicked in my mind from neuroscience. I realized the connection, that my nervous system was just doing its job. It was overreacting, it was overprotecting me. It wasn't showing me what felt like was happening, right? It felt like something was broken, something was cut. The pain was that intense, but that wasn't the case at all. It was simply overreacting. So I had to reframe everything. In that moment, I was like, okay, so this is a signal that's shaped by stress, memories of, serious injuries, beliefs that the culture and medical system have taught me, and this moment, right? And when I stopped treating pain in my practice as kind of the enemy or the thing that needed to be fixed, and I started to welcome it as information, then I could finally change it. I finally started having good results with clients. So I did that first with my own body, and then I was able to help clients. And so the work that I do, structural integration with a neuroscience bent, it's not just massage, it's not just PT, it's not just restructuring the body like maybe chiropractic. I help people out of pain in my own way, using principles from neuroscience and structural integration. I guess it's like massage, but it's not limited to that, right? It's like PT, I give homework, but it's not limited to that. I work with people's bodies and their nervous systems. I work with who they are and their story. Their story is where you really get the nitty-gritty in terms of like why they're in pain and how they can begin to change that. Because pain, the neuroscientists say that pain is simply an interpretation of what's going on in the body by the brain when it's chronic pain like that, right? So if you've tried everything and your pain still doesn't make sense, like no one's really explained it well, then that's probably the first part that you're missing. You want to understand the contextual, the personal reality behind your chronic pain, because as long as scans are fine, and especially if you've been treated by other practitioners and maybe you've had temporary results, but nothing's really held for a long period of time, then you need something more comprehensive, something more real to your situation. So go ahead, go to my website, medicineevolution.com. You'll see any of the links that you can click there. Click and schedule a 15-minute phone conversation, and let's talk about it, and we'll see from there if we're a good fit in the next steps. All right, let's go.